Hot takes, gotta have it.
And you do always have the hot takes. Again, one more time. Sorry, the internet lagged in late. We are now live on YouTube and Facebook Live. We're here with Vernon Kuntz, Mr. Everything Sports here in Albuquerque. You know him Saturday mornings, 9 to 11. Chop it up with Vern K. He's got all your sports and sports adjacent content. And, our old slot.
That is. I took over. I don't know. You guys set the bar high, so
Oh, I mean, that's a lovely compliment and bold-faced lie
it's not.
is what that
It
is.
is not. The bar is set high. I know it is.
I love it so much. What have you guys been hitting up on Saturday? Since you're coming in like Saturday right before college football starts, I'm sure you're leading a little college football in the morning.
So I've been starting with up until last week we had New Mexico Championship high school football
Oh,
playoffs.
right.
So we've been starting with that. And then we've been leading into girls and boys basketball, high school. I've had a couple friends of the show on, Mr. Cameron Brown, inside the 505 podcast. And then we've been talking college football and NFL a lot. College football big time because the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks, that top six has been going
Right.
Yeah. And then I've been giving my predictions, been talking about Lobo football a little bit. Definitely been covering all the NFL games, giving my predictions and breakdowns of NFL Sunday. So it's been fun.
What's your go-to? On our show, we're sports adjacent. We like to find the stuff that's on the fringes of sports that, we can have fun and talk about and laugh about. Like, what's your go-to? What's your favorite thing to talk about? You're like, this is my wheelhouse. This is what I could talk about no matter what.
Surprisingly, I haven't talked about it a lot, but baseball. You guys all
Yeah.
know I played baseball, and I know it's the off season, but when I came on, it was around the World Series. I think it had just ended, but baseball is probably my go-to. Baseball, and I'm pretty passionate about high school sports now that I've been around it the last couple of years, especially football and basketball this last year. So that's my go-to.
Yeah, and I promise we're going to talk a lot of Britney Griner today. We're going to talk a lot of Dan Snyder today. We're going to talk a lot of MLB, hot stove. We're going to talk a lot of NFL. We're going to talk like a youth movement in the NFL. But let's talk a little bit about the way the high school football season ended up. By the way, on the other side of the glass, sitting in with us today, one of the best in the biz, Bobcat. What's happening, my dude?
Well, not much, but I'm going to be very curious to see how you squeeze all of that in before 6 o'clock.
Oh,
That's
we got
right.
this.
We Thursday night football. Westwood One's coverage of Thursday night football.
Not bad.
Following 2 men on. So we'll be on till 6 tonight. We'll be 2 hours with myself, Van Nunley, and then, of course, Vernon Kuntz, and then on the ones and twos, pushing the buttons, taking your calls, Bob Walpo. Look, talk to me about how the high school season ended up, because high school football is huge here in New Mexico and the surrounding areas.
It's growing, and I'll tell you what, we all had our predictions from the beginning of the season. Pretty much everyone said Cleveland, La Cueva would be in the championship, and literally that's exactly what happened. It worked out that way. The championship game at Wilson Stadium 2 Saturdays ago was a crazy atmosphere. It was sold out, standing room only, probably about 7,500 people out there. The game was back and forth in the whole first half.
Back and forth is an understatement.
Oh, it was back and forth.
They scored like 130 something points.
Yeah, it was back and forth in the first half. La Cueva had the momentum going into halftime. Definitely. Cleveland missed a wide open receiver in the end zone. He dropped it. That would have put Cleveland up by 15. That was 4th down. And then La Cueva went down and scored, did an onside kick, scored again before half, and the momentum just flipped. So, I mean, La Cueva went into the locker room up 7, and they could have been down 15. They should have been down 15.
So crazy.
Third quarter comes out, and Cleveland just flexed their muscles like they usually do. And I would say middle of the third quarter, it was just like, whoa, what just happened? And I mean, from then on, it just was downhill. It got downhill quickly for La Cueva, and in the fourth quarter, they just kind of fell apart completely.
Was it big plays in the fourth quarter? Did they run out of gas? Like
I-
what was the key to the victory in the fourth quarter?
It was a combination of both, I would say. Big plays and LaQueva, to me, running out of gas, and then not able to make the adjustments on offense and on defense. And that could be coaching, that could be play calling, whatever you may have it. But I mean, like I said, it's just Cleveland's a well-oiled machine. They're a reason why they're the defending champions. They went undefeated last year. I mean, that program, man, it's just a lot of people were doubting because Coach Ridenour is now at UNM, and
Right.
they were like, is Cleveland going to be able to contend? And I'm like, they still got a bunch of pieces coming back, and Coach Garza's been in that program for years, so the kids are comfortable with him, and it kind of goes back to, I talked about this last Saturday. It went back to the semifinal game. Cleveland was down at halftime to Volcano Vista, and they had beat Volcano by like 25 earlier in the year. And I remember watching Cleveland's head coaching staff and their coaches, their assistant coaches, and their players walking up to the locker room, and none of them were panicking. It was like they were just cool, calm, and collected. Hey, we've been here before. We'll be all right. And they came out that second half and ended up winning that game by like 20, 25 points. And that is exactly how they were at that LaQueva game. Nobody panicked. They stayed with their game plan. And I feel like that's where it got away from LaQueva, is LaQueva kind of got out of their game plan offensively. And then before you know it, they were down 14, down 15, and it just kind of went from there, went downhill.
Do you think that Cleveland's going to come in being the favorite next year? Is there going to be like a shift in power? Or because it seems like the last few years it's just Cleveland versus everybody.
It is,
and
yeah.
whoever has a chance. But they played a lot of close games. Took a L or two this year.
Yeah.
So they're beatable now.
They
Is
are.
there going to be a power shift, or are they still the favorite next year?
They're going to lose. Obviously, their quarterback, their top running back, he's a senior. Their O-line is pretty young, so they'll be back. And then there's a couple receivers that they're going to lose because they're seniors. But man, it's hard to bet against Cleveland with the way that program is run and the athletes that they have coming in. They have a quarterback that is a freshman that was the backup this year. Didn't get a lot of playing time on varsity, obviously, because Wysong was the starter.
Right.
But I'm telling you, look out. I mean, that I wouldn't bet against that program. So
just re-up and reload for Cleveland fans.
I mean, the way that school is growing in that area, I just don't see in the next 5 to 10 years, they're not going to have an issue getting athletes at that school, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the way they run that program, I mean, those kids are up at 5, 6 in the morning with weights and film and everything else. They run it like a small college program. And I just don't see, they'll be one of the favorites. I don't think they're going to have much of a drop off, but it'll be interesting to see next year.
So I'll break this up into two questions. Who was your surprise of this year, and who do you think is going to be that team next year?
Same team. My surprise was West Mesa. Coach Brody, he was a former Duke City Gladiator. He was our coach on our offensive coordinator for the Gladiators 2018 and 2019, played for us even before that. I knew him going to that program was going to change things around, change the culture at West Mesa, but they should have been in the playoffs. I mean, it came down to votes. So they were there, but in 1 year, he turned that program around from last year to this year, and they're pretty young as well. And they've got some guys coming back, and I think they're going to make some noise next year now that those guys have experience.
So you think he's going to recruit some like Duke City Gladiator players and like give them a super close shave and have them talk with a crack in their voice?
Yeah, I don't know if he can pull that off because some of those Gladiator players are too big. For
you can't 21 Jump Street a high school football team. Is that not an option?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like NMMA would find that out pretty quick. So.
More sports and sports adjacent talk when we get back. We got special guest host Vern Koontz. You know him from Chop It Up with Vern K every Saturday morning, 9 to 11. Going to have a lot of fun with it today. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM AM 610, the sports animal.
Well,
Okay.
up stages. This is southbound New Mexico 528 at Northern. You're just seeing some slight delays. We do have an emergency vehicle on the shoulder northbound 25 at Lead. Backups start around Sunport lasting to Martin Luther King. Southbound 25 is slow moving from Paseo to Comanche. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Visit any of their stores today or shop online at AmericanHome.com. I'm Stephanie Griffin from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Telling it like it is.
All right, so the Cowboys won 54-19. Everybody in the media going to lavish them with praise. Listen, the Cowboys are always their best playing the week or the weekend. Do you still trust Mike McCarthy situationally in the playoffs? Or for Dak to have a 9-play drive trailing?
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays at 1 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
It's a magical season for our little ones. But with the flu, RSV, and COVID all going around, you want to do everything you can to help them stay healthy. Keep this season magical by making sure hands are always washed, surfaces are regularly cleaned, and the whole family is caught up on their vaccines. Start by scheduling a COVID vaccine for your kid today at vaccinenm.org/kids.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code IMPACT at checkout. That's harrys.com, code IMPACT. Enjoy.
Don't miss the opening drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Welcome back to the program, Duke City. If you listen to 2 Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. You know, I blew through the first segment. I was just so excited to have you on, Vern, that I didn't even mention the sponsors. I'm going to get some strongly worded emails, Bob. Can you believe what I did?
Uh-oh.
As always, we are live from the John Lopez Real Estate and Coldwell Banker Legacy Studio. We're powered by New Mexico Pinon Coffee. We play on Team I-9, and we start our days at the YMCA. So lunch, that's at 66 Diner. And Mondays, Bob, let me tell you, that's for the boys at Howie's Sports Page, corner of Montgomery and Tramway. The weekend, and I just had to re-up today. I just went by and saw owner-operator of Teller Vodka and re-up my vodka game so I can make some cocktails tonight. Teller Vodka, New Mexico's vodka.
Okay, so that's the make good for the first segment.
Correct.
So you want to do the one for this segment?
I got to do them again?
Yeah.
I'll do them on the way out again.
Okay.
Or maybe just mention one.
All right.
Okay. We'll figure it out. I'm pretty sure they love us and we have a good relationship.
They understand the program.
Correct. Yeah. And if they didn't, they probably wouldn't be around long.
No, they wouldn't be sponsored.
And we still got some OG, like, day one ride or die sponsors, too. New Mexico Pinon Coffee, obviously. Yeah. Like, you know, they believed in us first and gave us our start. And, you know, I-9 Sports came along right at the beginning, too. And YMCA not long after that. And these just some great guys. John Lopez right after that. He's been with us almost the whole time. So we're lucky to have such great partners and sponsors in the community. All right. I was going to go soft and fluffy and warm it up, but we already got mentions of this on the text line. So let's just jump right into it.
Uh-oh.
Britney Griner's back. Yay.
Yeah.
All right.
BG.
Good job.
BG.
Good job. Good job. As far as trades go, you can't get an even swap in times like this.
Yeah, it's just not gonna happen.
And for me personally, like Russia to get up, for Russia to make sense of this trade whatsoever, to get rid of Britney Griner, she's just as valuable to Russia there in prison and doing stories and in the media. And so they have to get something great in return to move her at all. So for Russia, it was the merchant of death or nothing.
Yeah.
She is way more valuable there in prison than she is as a pawn for a trade piece.
Yeah, and they knew that. I mean, that's why they set I don't want to say set the bar high, but that's why they started with, hey, we want our arms dealer back. This is what we want. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And a lot of people are upset about, the bargaining piece behind it. Hey, what about the other vet that was left behind? And from what I've read and what I know, they did try, but Russia was like, nope, 1 for 1. That's it. We're not negotiating anything else. You want BG back home? This is what we're asking, and that was it. There was no like bargaining that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a complicated issue, like international political relations. Come on, like armchair quarterbacks. Let's not think we know too much about this.
Exactly.
I mean, I've been following the story this whole time. I literally took international political relations in college.
Ooh.
So I got a slight bit of frame of reference for this, but I am no expert at all whatsoever. But I will let you know that Russia was in a position to make the demands in this situation.
They were.
We know that this trial was BS. We know that these charges were BS. A couple little canisters of hash oil or tincture or vape cartridges, whatever she had, you don't get 10 years for that amount anywhere.
Well,
you don't get 10 years for that in Saudi Arabia. They knew what they were doing this whole time.
Yeah, and the thing is here in the States, you get busted with that TSA, you're not going to jail over that.
Yeah.
They don't. I was reading an article. They don't even search for that kind of stuff.
Don't care.
And at TSA,
Yeah.
Throw it away. Go throw it away. You cannot fly with that. You're not getting 10 years of jail time.
We got some excitement in the crowd for Vern K joining us today. I don't think Saturday's enough for you, Vern.
Uh-oh.
Your boy Jordan Mosley
Mm.
said, "What's up?" Says my dog.
J Mo, how you doing, man?
Friend of the show, JD says, "Enjoying your Saturday show, Vern."
I appreciate it, JD.
And then back on the Britney Griner subject, friend of the show, Freddie said, "Now El Chapo is just waiting for an athlete to F up in Mexico." That's a hot take.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I like that a lot. But look, you can't sit here as a free American citizen and be like, we should have got this guy. We should have got this guy. By the way, a little behind the scenes info, the Marine that air quotes got left behind, he's not just a Marine. He is a friggin' international spy. Put some respect on that man's name.
I was just going to say that. I mean, come on. Espionage.
If we wanted this guy back, and I'm sorry, I forget his name at the moment. If we wanted, air quotes, the Marine back, Britney Griner would have had to stay there. It was one or the other. There was no 2-for-1 trade.
That's why I'm saying that. And I get whatever people are upset, whatever view you have. I'm not here to debate that. But you look at the facts, and that's why Russia was like, no, this is going to be a 1-for-1.
Sure.
We are not. I mean, they were literally just turning their shoulder and saying, once you guys are done, come back and talk to me, and we'll make a deal happen. But it's going to be 1-for-1. That is it. No questions asked. We're not negotiating anything else.
Yeah. And back to my previous point earlier, Britney Griner in jail in Russia is more valuable than getting the Merchant of Death back. He already did his nefarious deeds. He was already an international terrorist and arms dealer for decades. He's been doing this so long. There was a movie about his life that came out in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's a retiree.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to provide some help to, Russia's nefarious plans worldwide. But this guy's done. He's like a retiree. He's going to be on the beach in Russia. Not like in the war room.
I just have a feeling that when we obviously did the exchange, somebody's always going to be watching him, whether it's CIA, whoever it may be from the U.S. We're going to be keeping him on tabs wherever he goes. If he stays in Russia or if he goes elsewhere, I feel like they're going to have a really good idea of where he's going and what he's up to.
And there had to be like a handshake deal, right? We'll give you this guy. We'll give you an international arms dealer. We will give you an actual terrorist for our NBA player. But here, shake my hand, air handshake over the phone, Vladdy, that if he attacks the U.S. or any of his interests, we're coming after you. Besides that, go crazy. Go do your weird Russia stuff all you want.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. And then what a lot of people are upset about is BG, Britney Griner, just saying that when she gets back home, is she going to help them getting the other Marine back, or is she just saying that? And I'm like, you got to give her a shot.
Right.
Nobody knows her personally.
Sure.
You don't know what she was thinking in that jail cell.
Right.
Regardless of the mistakes she made, you still have to give her a chance to follow through with what she said she's going to do. You know what I mean? What she's going to stand up for. You can't judge her off of that because that's not fact. Nobody knows what she's going to do when she comes back, So I think it's going to be interesting to see.
I do not believe we're going to get the Marine back.
His name is Paul Whelan.
Paul Whelan, thank you.
Yep.
I do not believe we'll get Paul Whelan back because I think he is way more than a Marine. Allegedly, this is speculation. This goes off of data that I compiled on the internet that
Allegedly.
I will not stick my neck out and say it's mine or I'm 100% sure this information.
These are facts.
But it was on the internet, so it's true.
A
right?
lot of how many ex-Marines, air quotes, ex-Marines go on vacation in Moscow and are just so happen to be get caught snooping around data centers. Like, come on. Come on. We know what this guy is.
They all do that?
We know what this guy is.
You mean that's not the normal 9 to 5?
First off, I have no interest going to Russia whatsoever.
Neither do I.
But their architecture is gorgeous. The Russian architecture, the Muslim influenced buildings with the goofy candy cane triangle tops, that is gorgeous. I get it. There's more than one reason to go there. Number one, the women. Number two, the architecture. Definitely not the food. Definitely not the hospitality. But why are you there?
Yeah, that's true. That you bring up a good point. I know I'm not going. So
you're either Britney Griner getting paid to play basketball, which she got paid more there than she did here.
Yep.
Check yourself.
Yep.
Or you're a spy who's air quotes on vacation. Come on, man. You know what time it is. You know what day and age it is in Russia.
Yeah.
You know how they feel about us. You know what they think about us.
That's true.
Hey, I would love to go to the Red Square and go to their buildings and drink some vodka with some locals, but I'm not taking that chance.
I was going to say, you want to risk that? Because you're definitely not coming back.
There is billions of other places on this planet that's way ahead on my list of visiting Russia.
Russia's on the bottom of my list. I don't even know if it's on a list at this point.
Sub-Saharan Africa's there. Russia's there. Yeah.
I just know Russia's not on my list.
Sure.
There's no list when it comes to that.
They're not even on the bottom of this. They're not on your list.
They're not on the list at all. No.
So, friend of the show, loyal listener, don't get upset for the terms of this deal. It's not like the Texans getting ripped off when they got David Johnson for DeAndre Hopkins. That's not a comp in this situation, okay? This is international politics. Somebody had the leverage, and those people were Russia. We got our best deal. Welcome back, Britney, with open arms.
Yep, there you go.
Be proud that she's back and she's not in a work internment camp for a decade.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
All right. Do we keep hitting 505-246-0610? Loyal listener, friend of the show. Hit us with your hot takes. If they're radio friendly, by the way, because there were some hot takes on the internet this morning that are not radio
They're
friendly
not.
whatsoever.
I saw some of those. Yeah.
So if you're at least close to kosher, we'll take your hot takes. Otherwise, just text us and we'll see if they're able to be read on air. More sports and sports adjacent content when we get back. And yes, Bob, I will get the sponsors when we get back. 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer. When temperatures drop, COVID-19 cases may rise. So if you test positive and are at high risk, act fast. Even if your symptoms feel mild, ask your provider if an authorized oral treatment could be right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Well, we have emergency vehicles on scene in 2 areas for accidents reported on northbound 25. The first is at Lomas. The second is right behind that at Lead. Your backups are starting around Rio Bravo, lasting to MLK. An earlier accident on southbound New Mexico 528 at Northern has been cleared, but you're still seeing minor delays. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Visit any of their stores today or shop online at AmericanHome.com. I'm Stephanie Griffin from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Haters gonna hate, but the Raider Nation never cared if anyone liked them anyway.
Runs in untouched. 6 easy. TD Raiders.
Raider Nation has moved. Hear every Raider game on 94.5 The Pit.
Takes it down to the Raiders 42. Ball's out. It is another takeaway.
Or go to the Raiders Den at Bourbon and Boots. Raider Nation is alive and well in ABQ. On the air at 94.5 and in person at Bourbon and Boots. Corner of 4th and Central.
It's the holiday season. You're wondering what to get for everyone else. Don't forget to take care of you. It's Jeff Symbieta. Make sure you are on your holiday list. Feel better. Look better. Call New Mail. Are you experiencing hair loss? Dealing with thinning hair? Men, ladies, give New Mail a call. They utilize state-of-the-art, clinically proven ways to regrow your hair. Their professionals will walk you through the options. Then you get to choose what's best for you. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy. It uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle to stop hair loss and regrow hair. They have an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser that is proven to regrow hair. They have NeoGraft hair transplants, produce natural-looking results in less than a week with no linear scarring. Men, ladies, call New Mail at 505-652-1688 or online at numale.com. Treat yourself this holiday season. Look better. Feel better. Call New Mail at 505-652-1688 or visit them online at newmail.com.
This message is brought to you by St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. 92.3 KRST is doing their annual fundraiser for St. Jude. You can make a difference in a child's life right now by calling 1-800-976-9793 or go to 923krst.com.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons. Sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Sparkly and shiny and bold and bright. And this holiday season, Ulta Beauty has something for everyone on your list, even you. Because our kind of holiday is you having your kind of holiday with incredible must-haves like the Dyson hairdryer and a new limited edition blue, shimmery palettes from Morphe and Tarte, plus fragrances from Ariana Grande and more. So revel in that holiday bliss. Head to your local Ulta Beauty or buy online and pick up in store. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful.
I just found someone the perfect gift. And when my friend asked where they could get it, I said only at Kohl's. I've been gift shopping there and getting Kohl's Cash every day while saving on must-haves like sweaters from Croft & Barrow and Sonoma Goods for Life starting at $19.99. Cookware from the Food Network at 20% off. And cute boots from So and LC Lauren Conrad starting at $23.99. Plus, you could take an extra 20% off or save more with the Kohl's card. So get to Kohl's now. You'll thank me later. Select styles, 20% offer until December 11th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Are you amped?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Come on, bro. The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10
On 95.9 FM
and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Welcome back, Burke. 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. We're going to keep this Britney Griner talk going. As always, we are live from the John Lopez Real Estate and Coldwell Banker Legacy Studio. Powered by New Mexico Pinon Coffee, we play on Team I-9, start our days at the YMCA, and we do our lunch at 66 Diner, and usually a milkshake to go. Vern, I know you're on a diet. You're taking your health super seriously right now, but have you ever had a 66 Diner milkshake?
I haven't, but now you're going to make me come off of my diet just to try that.
I'll tell you what, I will split it with you. We can go halvesies.
Can I put protein in it?
Of course. Well, I would say no. You don't want to water down the milk. You got to have it in its pure decadence.
I'm gonna have to wait till a cheat day then.
Okay, cheat day. Hit me up.
Sunday,
Monday. That's for the boys. Howie Sports Page, Corner Montgomery and Tramway. The weekends. That's for Teller Vodka, New Mexico's vodka. So I mean, we talk about Paul Whelan, the Marine, the suspected alleged spy who was not part of this deal. There's also a teacher, Mark Fogel, an American teacher who was in Russia to teach, and he had a spinal injury, and he had medical marijuana on his person when he tried to enter Russia, and he is facing the same fate as Britney Griner, and he wasn't even mentioned in this whatsoever.
See, well, there you go. That's where, where some of these laws got to change, in my opinion. And I'm not advocating for any side of this. But
correct.
I mean, some of this stuff is like, come on.
Yeah, we're happy an American is back home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to speculate. We don't have to yes and.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to point fingers at any of these other situations.
Yep.
But there was like an overwhelming call to get Britney back home. Apparently, the reports are 2 vials of vape cartridges. 2 vape cartridges. Literally just 2 vape cartridges. And a decade for that. This Mark Fogel had, let's see here, 17 grams, just over half an ounce of medical marijuana with his prescription and doctor's note, and he's doing 14 years.
See, that's too much. With a doctor's note, with his prescription, that's, to me, I fathom that as me driving down the street in the U.S. or anybody, you get pulled over, they see that you have a pill bottle. Obviously, the police is going to ask you, well, is that your prescription? You say, yeah. You show them, hey, it's got my name on it and everything. You see that, and yet they still send you to jail. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Someone who, I mean, I'm not a pothead. I'm not a stoner, but I smoke weed. Like, I get the relaxation aspect. I get the medical aspect. I get the lifestyle aspect. It's just not for me like every day, but I get the culture. But also what I don't get is you're going to a place where you 100% know it's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is like the original argument for Britney Griner, right? Like, it was an unfair punishment for an unfair amount in an unfair place, and she was treated unfairly top to bottom. No doubt about that. You know it's illegal there. You know there's police at the airport.
But I'm going to bring this up. All right. You're traveling and you're going from, I don't know, Albuquerque airport to Orlando airport. You go through TSA. TSA dings your bag. Sir, can you come with me? You have something in your bag. You got a pocket knife in there. Now, you know it's illegal, you know, but did you just honestly make a mistake and forget, oh man, I was cutting a piece of string earlier last week and I completely honestly forgot that it was in my bag. I didn't look through my bag again.
I mean, it happens. I mean, statistically, that situation will happen, as unlikely as it is.
Yeah.
But also, can't you have a knife if you stow it? If you check a bag?
That one, I don't know.
Yeah, I believe as long as it's not on your carry-on, you can have a knife.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Carry on.
Yeah.
When you're going through TSA, your carry on. And I've seen people, or they're on vacation, or they went fishing on vacation, and they forgot that it was in their carry on. They genuinely forgot.
Yeah.
So then that means
in the lobbies of most airports, there is a place to throw away illegal stuff. No questions asked.
See, there you go.
Just walk over there, drop whatever you're not supposed to have in there, and get right back in line. That is almost everywhere.
Yeah, that's like water. I mean,
I've always wondered why somebody didn't set up a stand so that you could mail this stuff back to yourself or have it delivered back to your home.
Or, now hear me out, set up a fake stand and just take all the drugs and guns and knives back to my house.
And sell it. Sell it. Make a profit.
On the black market.
Well, we know how your brain works now.
Yes, we do.
See, I was
Friend
going
of the
to
show has known this for a long time now.
We've known this the whole time.
Well, I was giving you the opportunity to correct the image.
Oh, no. I'm leaning into it. I think it's a genius idea.
It is.
Your idea is great as well. That's a good money maker. But I'm
would
talking
think.
like a one-time money maker. Because I'm only going to get away with it the once.
You would get the
one time.
reputation.
Yeah. So yeah, old Mark Fogel, 61-year-old teacher, has the same fate as Britney Griner, and I don't see as much tumultuous fervor over him than there has been for Britney Griner.
Yeah, that's true.
And it seemed like the past couple months has been a common, overwhelming theme of let's get her back. She's unfairly punished. Get her back. They're using her as a pawn in a political game. Let's get her back, blah, blah, blah. We have the resources. We can give them this. We can give them that. Immediately, eventually settled on an international arms dealer. On the surface, not a great trade. Not the best trade. This is a Larry Anderson for Jeff Bagwell kind of trade.
Oof.
But the Red Sox, they needed a pitcher that year. They got their pitcher. All right. For public discourse, we needed to get our WNBA player back. You know, that it's going to eventually it'll be looked at as a better trade. But how do we know now?
Yeah. And like you said earlier, when we came on, Russia was not going to negotiate.
No.
They had the higher leverage on this. There was no negotiating that. They said, this is what we want.
Yeah.
This is what we're going to do. This is what we're not going to do. See you later. If you don't want to, talk about it anymore, then cool. We'll keep her here.
Yeah. It was better publicity for them to keep her than it was to get a air quotes retired international arms dealer who's done his dirty work for 3 decades and has no reason whatsoever to go back to work.
Who's to say that he didn't do something to Russia when he goes back that he's not taken care of?
Ooh, strong point right there.
Right? He could have, led some information that he wasn't supposed to, and there could be somebody in Russia waiting on him.
He's like their Snowden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they got him back.
That's a good point, right? Somebody could be waiting on him like, okay, you're back. So we're going to take care of business.
There's a lot of outrage, and I understand she was obviously unfairly treated. There's a lot of outrage on her punishment. There's a lot of outrage on Mark Fogel's punishment. A lot of outrage on the alleged punishment for Paul Whelan, whether he was just a Marine on vacation or an international spy, allegedly. But what there's not a lot of conversation of, and I find it despicable, is the people who are in jail in America, the United States of America. There's people in jails all across our country for committing similar crimes to Britney Griner, with similar punishments to Britney Griner. And I don't see the overwhelming outrage to let these guys out of prison for their minuscule crimes. We traded an international arms dealer for a WNBA player who was unfairly jailed for cannabis possession. Are we going to just let out all the people who are unfairly jailed in the United States prisons for cannabis possession?
Yeah, that's a valid point. It's tough. I mean, where do you go with that?
I think the governor of Oregon or Washington did just that. Gave them all pardons.
So
recently.
a lot of states who have legalized have commuted sentences or cut down sentences, but there's people all across the country in more conservative punishment areas where they still frown on cannabis legalization.
Yes.
Where someone who has a joint, or in Britney Griner's case, 2 vape cartridges, and they're doing years in prison. If we're willing as a nation to trade for a WNBA player and give up an international arms dealer, shouldn't we get these guys out of jail here first?
That should be the focus.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
If we're going to do it for international political reasons, shouldn't we do it here domestically? Let's pull up that list. I guarantee you NORML, NORML, or some kind of weed legalization organization has a list ready to go. Like, these are the most unfair cases right here. Email that, hand it over to Joe Biden in person and say, hey, if we're going to trade at these stakes, if we're going to trade for Britney Griner, let's get these guys out of jail too.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. Interesting. I mean, where does it go from here?
And I mean, this poor teacher, Mark Fogel, who, you know, in Britney Griner's defense, it's not a straight comparison. It's not a perfect comp for their situations or for their punishments. She allegedly had 2 vape cartridges. He had, I don't know, over 10 vape cartridges and like 17 grams of medical marijuana, which is considerably more, but he got considerably more time. And he is very obviously, I mean,
with his prescription, correct?
With his prescription. Yeah. His prescription and doctor's orders. And again, I'm sure Russia's just assuming everyone in this situation is a spy. Like, it's easy to say, like, oh, this teacher, like, what, he served in the military 20 years ago or something, obviously a spy. This Marine who hasn't had a taxable job in over a decade, obviously a spy. Blah, blah, blah. Allegedly a spy. Obviously, in their eyes, is what I mean.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, the situations aren't exactly interchangeable, but I understand that. Why weren't we bargaining? Why aren't we making a deal for all of these high-profile cases? Why was it just Britney Griner? Bob?
She had the public eye.
Did the public eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's not a 61-year-old middle-aged white teacher. She's not a suspected, alleged spy. So I think she was the easiest one to give up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you also have to remember the leader of Russia, Vladimir Putin, has no compunction about bombing a children's hospital to create a situation.
Okay, now we're getting heavy here.
that was heavy.
Yeah.
That was heavy.
But it's a valid point.
Sure.
You also have to
It is.
recognize what or who you're dealing with.
Right.
And he's the one that ultimately made the decision.
Sure. And yeah, his moral compass isn't going to be the same as somebody negotiating on our side.
Right.
There
But
you go.
then again, they're not far off. Yeah. Let those without sin cast the first stone.
Where is it?
Okay, when we get back, yeah, Christy, friend of the show, Christy Alloway, because of the media coverage, definitely because of the media coverage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, a lot of X's in that attention equation. Prolific, LGBTQ, person of color, a lot of X's in that equation to give it more attention. I understand that.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna divert a little bit unless somebody brings me back in. We're gonna talk a little sports and sports adjacent when we get off the politics. 2 Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples is your one-stop destination for shipping supplies and services. And right now, get 50% off shipping boxes, mailers, or tubes when you buy 5 of the same item. Offer ends 12/31. Exclusions apply. Visit staplesconnect.com/shipping for details. Staples, the best kept secret in shipping.
Well, we have 3 accidents in the cleanup stages on northbound 25. Your backup start around Sun Blasting till about Lowe's. 5 is slow moving from San Antonio to Comanche, and westbound Paseo is bumper to bumper from I-25 to Coors. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Visit any of their stores today or shop online at AmericanHome.com. I'm Stephanie Griffin from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is Jim Rome with the CBS Sports Minute. So there was some notable quarterback news this morning, quarterback news from a team that is technically still very much alive in the playoff hunt. Believe it or not, I'm talking about the Atlanta Falcons. They're still right there, and they're finally turning to their rookie third-round quarterback, Desmond Ridder. Earlier in the year, I speculated on a move such as that, and the team was not thrilled with the tweet. Yet here we are, and there really isn't anybody anywhere arguing with that move right now. I'm Jim Rome.
The opening drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bond.
My biggest winner in the NFL this week is the Cincinnati Bengals. So they've gone 8-2 in the last 10 weeks. Biggest game, biggest win. My number 2 winner's the Vikings. They beat a good team. They had a goal line stand, and they continue to find a way. Number 3, going with the Niners because they won with Brock Purdy at quarterback for the majority of the game. What they did to a high-flying Miami offense.
Local talk on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text TETL to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text KETTLE to 321-321. That's kettle to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
This message is for the guy who isn't perfect in the bedroom. And let's be honest, who is? Maybe the issue is getting it up or keeping it up, or maybe it's finishing too soon. If any of these performance hiccups sound familiar to you, don't sweat it. Hims can help. At 4hims.com, you can go online and get clinically proven prescription medication that treats these issues prescribed for you, if appropriate, by licensed medical providers. And the medication is shipped free to your door in discreet packaging. Plus, Hims gives you unlimited follow-up visits with medical providers. No one's perfect in the bedroom every time, but with Hims, you can get a lot closer than before. And chances are, your partner will agree.
To get started today, go to 4hims.com/perfect. That's 4hims.com/perfect for your free visit. FORHIMS.com/PERFECT.
And now a small business setback, delivered by a kind French stranger.
Monsieur, there was an accident. The windshield of your catering van is, how do you say, kaput? But Progressive has an extensive network of repair shops. Now, we sing about the old days. Brave marin revient de guerre.
When things go wrong with your small business, it's comforting to know you have Progressive Commercial. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Croissance for everyone.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Duke City's home for sports.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
That's a yes.
This is 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Welcome back, Duke City. 2 men on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. Got to apologize for anyone who showed up to work out with me today, this morning at the YMCA. I had some house stuff to do. My house is on the market. So, sorry. My bad.
Uh-oh.
I didn't get any hate mail. I didn't get any strongly worded emails or hate texts. So I think I'm in the clear, or they understand.
I think they understand.
I'm trying to get like you, Vern.
I'm trying to get these gains, man. It's tough, but I'm getting there.
I got to skip out on this holiday season stuff. I'm getting a little soft in the winter. I got to skip out on it. We're doing with Evolve Strong Fitness. Like we've done Sober October 3 years in a row, where we don't, no drinking, no smoking, no sugar, no insane stuff. And we do 2-a-days, one at the YMCA and one at Evolve Strong Fitness, and go really hard in 1 month. And this year with the Astros in the playoffs, and we had a bunch of community events in town and out of town, I was like, no Sober October this year, but we are doing Dry January. So our Sober October this year turned into Dry January. So I'm going to get absolutely shredded in January. So I might be catching up with you, Vern.
Uh-oh. That sounds like a challenge. I have a witness here too.
Yes, you do, and we'll check it out January 31st.
So I'm gonna do the whole thing, before and after pictures and body fat and BMI.
All right, that's a challenge.
Yeah,
that's a challenge. Now it's on.
Yeah, now
Fred, I hope you're listening. Rob, I hope you're listening.
Who's going to be the judge on this and make sure everything is accurate and not fudged?
The scientific method.
We'll go to NutriShop. We'll do the BMI test and all that. Yeah.
Oh, we could do it all at Evolve, day 1 and day 31.
There you go. All right. Yeah. Challenge accepted.
So Robert said he's in too. Fred, I don't know.
Fred's not going to be in.
Fred will dip a toe in, but he ain't going all the way in.
Exactly. He's not going all the way in. He'll have one arm in, 1 foot out. Yeah. He ain't going all the way in.
It's more than I'd have.
Yeah, I'm stoked, man. You know who else is stoked? In 2 weeks, rookie Desmond Ridder gets his first start as an NFL quarterback.
I thought it would be sooner. I thought it would come sooner when they drafted him.
The Falcons have impressed this year. I thought they'd be like a 1-2-3 win team, and here they are up until last week. And technically, they still have a shot at the playoffs. It is a insane long shot. They have to win out, and then they need some help. But the Falcons overperformed this year, and they were in it longer than they should have been.
Yeah, and I kind of rehashing with what I just said. I thought when the Falcons drafted Desmond Ridder out of Cincinnati, I was like, okay, Marcus Mariota, he's there, but they're drafting a guy that high. They're saying they want him to come in and start either right away or midway in the season. I was like, okay, the Falcons are not going to be good this year. He's going to come in, or Mariota's going to start for the first 4, 5, 6 games, and then they're just going to go the rookie. And that hasn't happened.
Yeah, they kept winning and they kept losing close games.
Yeah.
We had a segment yesterday, Vern, where we looked at the NFL standings. If every 1 possession game was flipped upside down, the Falcons would be in the playoffs.
My Jags would
be
in the playoffs.
Your Jags would be in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, our Jags, please.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Our Jags.
It's your number 1 team. It's my number 2 team.
It's because
Jags.
It's because Fred and Rob, they like to blast my Jaguars. So
I mean, they were Fred's Jaguars 3 years ago.
Yeah.
When they had Gardner Minshew.
Mustache.
Yeah.
Mr. Mustache.
But yeah, I'm impressed that Atlanta hung in this long. But Desmond Ridder, he's a dude.
He is, but
he's got some legs. He can make any throw on the field.
Yeah.
He led Cincinnati to the playoffs. Get out of here, bro.
The Bearcats?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, what's going to be interesting to see, and I think they should have, the timing is now for them. They got to see what they have in them. because you draft a quarterback that high in the first round, you got to see what you have in him before next season. You got to go through the whole evaluation process.
And a guy who gets Heisman votes, who led a mid-major team to the playoffs, and you get that guy in the third round, this might be one of those all-time steals if he can actually play.
Yeah, it could be.
1 hour in the books, 1 hour to go before we kick it off the Thursday night football. Having a lot of fun with it. Vern K from Chop It Up with Vern K every Saturday morning, 9 to 11, will join us in the 5 o'clock hour as well. Going to have a lot of fun with it. 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Accidents in the cleanup stages. Northbound 25 still has backups from around Sunport. Southbound 25 is crawling from Paseo to Comanche. Westbound Paseo is bumper to bumper from I-25 to Coors. And westbound 40 is slow moving from San Mateo to the interchange.
This report is sponsored by ASRC Federal, a certified great place to work. Refer a friend and earn $5,000. ASRC Federal is looking for engineers, project managers, and construction professionals to support Kirtland Air Force Base. Refer a friend today and $5,000 could be yours. See terms at www.asrcfederal.com/referral.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Visit any of their stores today or shop online at AmericanHome.com. I'm Stephanie Griffin from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. They may have been turned down a couple of times, but the San Diego Padres were not going to be denied. Offer enough guys enough money, and one of them is bound to say yes, and Xander Bogaerts finally did. Xander Bogaerts is a Padre, 11 years and a staggering $280 million. Ask me, that is a tremendous pickup. Ask me again, and I'll say that's a huge loss for the Red Sox. All of a sudden now, the Padres have a potential lineup, which would include Xander Bogaerts, Manny Machado, Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis, and more. That seems pretty lethal. As for the Red Sox, if Mookie Betts was the one that got away, how do we look at Xander Bogaerts? What I'm saying is Mookie Betts is the one mistake that should have never happened and could never happen again, but it did. They let Bogaerts go.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Winter weather is a killer on your vehicle, and it's coming quickly. It's Jeff Symbieta, and before the weather hits, I'm calling On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They come to you wherever and whenever it's convenient. They detail your car, get it ready for winter. Ask them about ceramic coating, which starts at $250, the best way to protect your vehicle's paint, and they offer a lifetime warranty. On the Spot Automotive Detailing is a great holiday gift. Everyone will love the On the Spot treatment. Call today. Schedule your appointment at 505-859-2859 or online at otsdetailing.com.
KG40BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, AM 610 KNML Albuquerque. The Sports Animal, proud to be a Cumulus media station.
Even if they're not that proud of us.
Now batting for the Sports Animal, your afternoon drive. Number 2, Men On, Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle, Robert Buck D. Gibson. This is 2 Men On with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
Okay. I like that. I see you out here, DJ Bobcat. 1 hour in the books, 1 hour to go. Happy quitting time, Duke City. If you're just sitting down with us, you're just getting in the car, putting it on 95.9 FM or AM 610, the sports animal, or possibly you're on talkabq.com, or possibly you got the KNML app, or let's say possibly you have the TuneIn app, or maybe you're on YouTube Live right now watching us. If you want to get on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, look for 2 Men On, and you could see in real time how good looking Vern is. It's intimidating having you across from me.
No, it's the cameras. It's just make believe.
How does the camera take away 10 pounds from you? It's not fair.
I don't know.
Sponsor.
Make believe.
Bob is leaning into me. Make sure I read the sponsors, and I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. The program in question is 2 Men On, and we are live from the John Lopez Real Estate and Coldwell Banker Legacy Studio. We're powered by New Mexico Pinon Coffee. We play on Team I-9. We start our days at the YMCA, and we do lunch at the 66 Diner. Mondays, that's Monday Night Football with the boys at Howie's Sports Page. And the weekend, that's for Teller Vodka, New Mexico's vodka. I think I'm going to do some Moscow Mules tonight with my fresh new sexy bottle of Teller Vodka.
Was there pun intended with that? Moscow Mules? With
Oh, my God. No, it was not on purpose.
I don't believe it. Come on, Bob. I don't believe that. I think there was pun intended.
With you.
See?
Am I the merchant of entendres right now?
I mean, you could be.
I'll have some WNBA mules tonight.
There we go.
So you're really into college football.
I am.
And we are always busy doing something Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. Like we always have some kind of event to host or cover.
Yeah.
So it's like the sport I know the least about.
Uh-oh.
It's probably the most popular sport that I know the least about. Me doing what I have to do, being a sports and sports adjacent entertainer, I can keep up. I know what's going on. But not like the savant sitting right across from me right now. I just assumed TCU, when they took that L in the Big 12 championship to Utah, they would have been booted out. They wouldn't have made it to the top four.
Kansas State.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Kansas State.
Yep.
Yeah, Kansas State. Who did Utah? Utah beat
USC.
Sorry, strike that.
Smacked them.
Strike that, reverse it. What did I just say about not knowing anything about college football? I proved it to you in real time. But Kansas State beating TCU, the battle of the purple teams, would have kicked them out. But not only did it not kick them out, they didn't even move a spot.
And I agree. I mean, because to me, once USC got smacked by Utah at home, or not at home, but just conference championship by 20 plus points.
Right.
That booted them out. That gave them their third loss?
Yeah.
No way they can make it. Then you have people, oh, Bama should be in. No, they're not even in their conference championship game. No. It's not about who played the best to finish the season. It's about how you did throughout the whole season. So, and then you have Ohio State losing the way they did to Michigan at home.
Stomped.
Smacked.
Embarrassed.
Smacked.
Yeah.
That's what I like to say. It's just, I don't know. I think they have it right. I don't penalize a TCU team for losing in overtime by a yard, 3 points, going for the win, basically, in overtime in their conference championship, going undefeated all year. I just don't. Who are you going to move up?
I don't hate it, but I know, and by the way, before I say this, friend of the show, let me preface this by saying I'm glad Alabama's not in it for 1 year. They're like the first year in like the last decade, right? Since they started this whole process, they've been in it every year. So thanks for skipping out on 1 year.
Yep.
But Alabama's only 2 losses were on the road in the final play of the game.
So sorry.
I am
not a Nick Saban fan.
Yeah.
At all. Nope.
I think the way that Alabama lost is more indicative of a really good team than the way TCU has won throughout the year.
I can give you that.
TCU won a lot of close games against inferior teams who shouldn't have been hanging in there with them. And then Alabama beat up on everybody except for their 2 L's, and both of their 2 L's were the last play of the game.
So then who do you put in if it's not TCU? Is it Ohio State or Bama or USC? Because it's one of those 3.
Yeah, and again, I think, like you said, you should be rewarded for a full season.
Mm-hmm.
TCU didn't have the same level of competition, but they still beat these teams. If they win against K-State, we don't have this conversation at all.
Yeah,
because they're 100% should be in there.
Yeah,
but I think their schedule was way softer, and I think the way that they won was way softer than the way Alabama lost. And I don't think a 2-loss team should be part of the top 4, but uniquely this year, how good Alabama was against everybody else except for those 2 L's, losing on the last play of the game in both situations on the road, both situations last play of the game, is indicative of a title contender.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm not a Nick Saban fan.
Sure.
You don't reward. To me, I'm not rewarding a team for not playing in their conference championship. Now, if everybody else has lost a game, TCU's lost, Michigan loses, they don't go undefeated, Georgia doesn't go undefeated, then yeah, you know what I mean? But you had to slide Ohio State in there at 4 because USC lost. I'm not putting Ohio State, a 1-loss team who just lost their last regular season game, to a good opponent, Michigan. I'm not putting Bama ahead of them, a 2-loss team. Whether how Alabama lost those games or not, I just not doing it. I'm not rewarding you for not making your conference championship game.
Okay. Today's I-9 varsity is the best losers. Okay? That can mean whatever you want, Vern. The best loser.
All right. The best loser.
The best losers. Because Alabama, to me, is the best loser right now. Their losses were both on the road. Their losses were both on the last play of the game. They're probably one of the best losers in the history of college football, especially when we're talking about the BCS playoff, the CFP playoff.
It's going to move to the 12, but I think that's not coming until 2024.
So next year is 6, right?
I don't know. It's just going to stay 4 from what I know.
I think next year is 6, and then they're going to talk about expanding.
No, they've already agreed to the 12, but it's not coming until 2024.
Okay, they're not doing 6, then 12?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, so one more year of this speculation before everybody gets in. And we're going to have the same arguments for 12 that we have with 4. Because, there's going to be your top 8 are going to be no doubters. And then 9 through 12 are going to be like, oh, where should they be there? Should they be there? Oh, there's a 3-loss team. Is a 4-loss Clemson better than a 3-loss Notre Dame? We're just going to be having the same arguments next year with different context, or in 2 years with different context.
I get it, but 12 is a lot easier to make, in my opinion. That the conference schedule, the non-conference schedule, strength of schedule, all that is going to play a part in it, So I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be interesting. It will be more fun too. The hardest part is going to be appeasing these big sponsors who already have their names attached to the big bowl games. That's going to be way harder than filling out a bracket.
Yeah.
It's like the Rose Bowl and the Citrus Bowl and the Sugar Bowl, all of them just arguing which game do we get? Do we want the 1 versus 8 game?
Exactly.
No, we want the 3 versus 4 game. No, we want the SEC game.
It's going to come down to money. We all know that, which is why it took us that long to even get 4 from years ago, and now to get to 12, because it's all about money.
Sure is.
Every bowl game.
Another thing that's about money is Dan Snyder getting off the hook over and over and over again.
Over and over and over and over.
So we're going to talk a little Dan Snyder when we get back, until I get upset that we have to talk about Dan Snyder again and probably talk baseball. I don't know. And then we got the I-9 varsity, the best losers. That could be whatever you want.
Okay.
3 more segments before we give it over to Thursday Night Football. We're having a lot of fun with it here. Van Nunley, Bob Wolpo on the other side of the glass, and Vernon Kuntz from Chop It Up with Vern K every Saturday morning, 9 to 11. More 2 Men On when we get back. 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. In December, give $1 or more at either location, and Clark's will match your donation to Meals on Wheels, delivering nutritious meals to the needy in our area. New Mexico's Clark's Pet Emporium. Visit clarkspets.com. This report is sponsored by Clark's Pet Emporium.
An accident westbound 40 at San Pedro. You're seeing slowdown starting around Wyoming. An emergency vehicle is on the right shoulder and in the right lane, northbound 25 at Lead. Your backup starting around Cole. Southbound 25 is crawling from San Antonio to Montgomery. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Visit any of their stores today or shop online at AmericanHome.com. I'm Stephanie Griffin from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
The Jim Rome Show.
Ben Simmons was back in town, and everything was set up perfectly for Ben because most of the Sixers who mattered were not in action. In fact, they were missing their 3 best players. No problem for the black and white Titanic, right? Obvious dub for the Nets, correct? Philly fan won again when Ben missed a couple of free throws and everybody got free chicken.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. After you've been hurt in a car wreck, you wouldn't want to settle for getting half your car fixed. So why would you settle for getting half a check? The insurance companies have teams of adjusters and lawyers, and their sole job is to pay you as little as possible for your case. In a wreck, need a check? Call Lerner & Rowe Injury Attorneys today. We'll work hard to get you all the money you deserve and to keep you out of the courtroom. Don't be a victim twice. Call us at 544-4444. The call and the advice are free.
Lerner & Rowe can get you more. Call 544-4444.
Insurance Research Council, July 2014.
Indigo Mortgage is proud to have served veterans with honesty and integrity for the last 20 years. And in these last 20 years, veterans have trusted Indigo Mortgage for purchases or refinances utilizing their VA home loan benefits. Indigo Mortgage is known in the veteran community to offer some of the lowest rates and fees in New Mexico. Veterans refer veterans, and we take that very serious, as they are trusting us to make sure their fellow vets get the best rates and fees on the market. Veterans know they can trust Indigo Mortgage, and we set ourselves apart from the big national lenders who are interested in profits rather than serving our veterans. And if you're a veteran looking for any kind of home loan, make sure to shop your mortgage around and be sure to shop your trusted local mortgage company, Indigo Mortgage, serving veterans for the last 20 years. Reach us on the net at indigomortgage.net or by calling 836-5700. That's 836-5700. NMLS 231962 and 188-348.
Come armchair quarterback with the opening drive. Weekday mornings starting at 7 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Screaming west side when we ride, switching lanes in that old school Chevy while I'm gripping grains.
Welcome back, Burke. 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610. The Sports Animal. Baker Mayfield is active against the Raiders. Still not sure if he's starting.
They said they're waiting until the pregame. What kind of decision is that?
What? You're 3-9.
My point.
You're 3-9. You're already the worst Super Bowl champion in the history of the sport.
My point. So just let Baker start.
Let him have it. Let him just steer this dumpster fire into the side of the mountain.
I guess they're saying he hasn't had enough time to learn the offense. How long has he been in the NFL? He's had a couple days. Come on.
Everything is just the same exact offense with different names for it.
Different verbiage for it. I mean, come on.
I hope he plays. I hope the Raiders come back. The Raiders win this game. They're going to be 6-7.
You mean the Raiders that lost to my Jags?
Jags? That same, yes. That
up 17 on the road. And they lost.
Winners of 3 in a row. They were 2-7. Now they are 5-7. No 0-3 team has ever made the playoffs. But here come the Las Vegas Raiders trying to storm back.
Not happening. Sorry, Raider fans.
Not going to happen.
No.
Speaking of not going to happen, Dan Snyder is never going to get in trouble. He can do literally whatever he wants. How many international arms dealers does he have on the team that keep getting him out of trouble?
No kidding. I mean, the guy, like you said, can just do whatever he wants, say whatever he wants, admit to whatever he wants, don't admit to whatever he wants, and he doesn't even get a slap on the hand.
So one thing that happens a lot to people like Dan Snyder in their position, Donald Trump in their position, like guys that are just richer than God who can just buy their way out of trouble, they can just lie and lie and lie. But you can't lie to Congress. You can't lie to the U.S. government. That's when you get in trouble. And then the House committee's report on Dan Snyder and the Washington Redskins said he lied over 100 times. And he's still not going to get in trouble? Who is this guy? Who is this guy?
I just want to know how that's possible. How do you get caught more than 100 times lying to the U.S. government, Senate, everybody else, but you don't get in trouble?
Active sexual assault in your office. Adjacent human trafficking by your organization, like pimping out your own cheerleaders, like recording upskirt video, stealing from your own season ticket holders, lying to other NFL team owners. Like, that's extortion. That's human trafficking. That's sexual assault,
sexual harassment,
and no one ever got in trouble until John Gruden got a little racist. And they started doing their due diligence on all of his emails. What about his emails? And then this whole thing is now everything stinks to high heaven. And Dan Snyder has to have the locations of the bodies, right? There's no way he gets away with this for this long unless he knows everything about every other person involved, including people in Congress.
That's what he said, that he had dirt. Remember a couple months ago when he came out, when I did the show with you, and he said he had dirt on every NFL owner. But I'm like, dude, you got to have some dirt on so many other people because you just keep getting away with stuff.
Lied to Congress over 100 times.
And it's not only the dirt, but contributions to politicians.
Bing, 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 bing.
Wow.
That would explain a lot.
Money.
It always comes down to that. Just follow the money.
Much like new Colorado Buffaloes head coach, it must be the money.
Prime time.
Yeah, baby. The House Committee on Oversight and Reform report identifies Snyder as central to the toxic workplace culture at the Washington football team. The committee's findings specify documents that Snyder and the NFL refused to turn over, and at least one witness who wasn't let out of a non-disclosure agreement for Wilkinson's probe. The report broadly refutes past statements from the Commanders and the league about their commitments to full, unbiased probes. Mr. Snyder and the Commanders did not heed the NFL's warning to fully cooperate with Ms. Wilkinson, who was in charge of the investigation on them. The league, however, failed to take appropriate action in response. The failure raises doubts about the league's ability and willingness to fully address toxic workplace conduct and highlights the need for Congress to act to protect workers. This is, what this reminds me of?
What's that?
This is when they put handlers on Des Bryant to make sure they didn't do something stupid.
I remember that.
The United States government is going to put handlers on Dan Snyder to make sure he doesn't do anything else stupid.
I still don't think he can manage that.
He's going to have congressional babysitters.
I still think he's going to get in trouble. He's going to do something stupid.
You think he, in the face of
Yes.
getting away with all of this
Yes.
over and over again, he's still going to do something stupid because he doesn't learn, because he's surrounded by yes men who keep helping him get out of trouble every time, and he has no idea what it's like.
Mark my words. December 8th,
December 8th.
5:21 p.m.
5:21 p.m.
Dan Snyder is going to get in trouble again. They're going to find something else that he did because he thinks he's invincible. Mark my words.
A punishment as bad as making him take over the Houston Texans? Or is that too harsh?
No, that's not harsh enough.
Yeah, I mean, obstruction of justice, hiding evidence,
Documents. Yep.
perjury.
Yep.
Of course, the aforementioned sexual assaults, allegedly. Extortion, allegedly. I mean, what does he have to do? If Dan Snyder worked at Kinko's, they would have locked him up and threw away the key forever ago.
Oh, it would have been a while ago. I agree.
It is unfair.
But he's going to do something stupid again. Just watch.
Vern K, 5:21 p.m., 12/8/22. Calling you out, Dan. So, I mean, it's a multi-layered story, right? Like it's bigger than just Dan Snyder getting away with this. There's human beings involved here.
Doc,
like DOC, like DR period, like that kind of doc. 505-246-0610 will open up the Sports Animal Hotline if you got hot takes. I'm just going to go out and assume this is about Dan Snyder. We got Doc on the line. What's happening, Doc?
No, his phone dropped off.
Oh, his phone dropped off. Okay. If you're still in service, Doc, and you want to hit us with your hot take, go ahead and call back. Like you're dealing with human beings, right? Top to bottom, there's human beings in this organization that were wronged, that committed crimes against them, to like borderline sexually abused, borderline human trafficked, lied to, perjured, had to witness horrible behavior, paid off and signed non-disclosure agreements, and then was told to lie to Congress. All of this is so much.
It's a lot. And I remember watching the E60 when they broke the whole story down with the cheerleaders and the pictures and videos he was taking and being just a creepo owner. And I'm watching these women tell their stories and they're mortified.
Yes.
Some of those women, well, a lot of them
scarred for life.
Yeah, they tell
doesn't go
and
away.
I'm like, how do you continue to get away with that? And the list just goes on and on and on with Snyder. I don't get it.
You know, I thought it was really over, much like Bernie Madoff. Bernie Madoff stole from people for decades, but he stole from poor people for decades. Once Bernie Madoff started stealing from rich people, that's when he got in trouble.
I was just going to say it.
I say Dan Snyder's been slapped on the wrist for decades for his stupid behavior. But once he started stealing from other NFL owners, I was like, well, this one's over.
Yep.
He's done for now. Still nothing. Not even Congress is going to punish him for all of this.
Something is going to come up. I said it again, where it's going to come up where he did something else stupid. I'm banking on it. I'm counting on it.
And you know they got more receipts. I mean, there's more bones in the closet. They're going to come out too.
Oh, there is.
If this is only the stuff that's made it out so far, what are they sitting on?
Exactly.
What are they still studying? What are they still investigating?
What is behind door number 1?
I know it's behind door number 3, and that's the I-9 varsity. We're going to do the I-9 varsity when we get back. It's the varsity of the best losers. 2 men on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. It's pro time because at Lowe's it's Provember. Over 30 days to save big. Full of more inventory, more Lowe's MVPs bonus points, and more of the deals you deserve. Because it always pays to be a pro at Lowe's. Save all Provember long.
Well, we have an accident westbound 40. This is at San Pedro. Emergency vehicles are there. They are pulled into the far left lane and the shoulder. So your slowdowns are starting at about Wantabo. Another accident northbound 528. This is right in front of Intel. You're seeing some slight delays. If you see an accident, call the traffic tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Visit any of their stores today or shop online at AmericanHome.com. I'm Stephanie Griffin from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Check out this edge in the Battle of Massachusetts. I'm Joe Gillier here to help you beat the books with BetQL. UMass and Massachusetts Lowell take the court tonight in college hoops. And who could pick a side in this one? Luckily, you don't have to because the BetQL model is targeting the over. BetQL has over 142.5 as a 5-star best bet. They think this number should be 149. That's a 6.5-point difference from the posted total. I'm Joe Gillier. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetQL app today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
It's a magical season for our little ones. But with the flu, RSV, and COVID all going around, you want to do everything you can to help them stay healthy. Keep this season magical by making sure hands are always washed, surfaces are regularly cleaned, and the whole family is caught up on their vaccines. Start by scheduling a COVID vaccine for your kid today at vaccinenm.org.
/kids. It's a premier high-octane matchup for the 17th annual New Mexico Bowl. Bowl season is big-time college football, and the New Mexico Bowl is always one of the best games of the year. Two of the nation's most explosive offensives, the BYU Cougars and the SMU Mustangs, will put on a show you won't want to miss. Saturday, December 17th at University Stadium in primetime at 5:30 on ABC TV. It's one of our state's biggest parties and best events, and the whole country will be watching. Visit NewMexicoBowl.com or call 505-925-5626. We'll see you at the 17th annual New Mexico Bowl.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wine, spirits, beers, all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and more. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Priced so amazingly low.
Love what you find. Always lowest prices at Total Wine and More. Delivery available. Drink responsibly. B21.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Your Lobo women's basketball team takes on New Mexico State on Sunday, December 11th. Tip-off is scheduled for 2 p.m. Join us for We Are New Mexico in our Cherry Out, presented by Newsenda. The first 2,000 fans will receive pom-poms. Tickets start as low as $8. That's right, only $8. Get your tickets at golobos.com/tickets. That's golobos.com/tickets. We are New Mexico, and this is Lobo Women's Basketball. We'll see you there.
New Mexico Sports Authority, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Welcome back to the program. 2 men on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. As always, we are live from the John Lopez Real Estate and Coldwell Banker Legacy Studio. We're powered by New Mexico Pinon Coffee. We play on Team I-9, start our days at the YMCA, and we do our lunches at the 66 Diner. Monday Night Football, that's at Howie's Sports page, and the weekends, that's for Teller Vodka, New Mexico's vodka. It's going to be Thursdays for Teller Vodka for me, actually. I'm going to make a nice dinner, have a couple cocktails tonight, with the base of them being Teller Vodka, New Mexico's vodka.
Moscow Mule still?
It's not, yeah, we're still doing Moscow Mules. WNBA Mules today.
The BG Mule.
BG Mules. It's time for the I-9 Varsity. Check out i9sports.com. You got your kids looking to get in some youth sports. They're interested in expanding their horizons, getting out, getting active. I-9 Sports League Office 280 is who you turn to. We are honored to have them as friends of the show. Check out League Office 280 at i9sports.com or just give them a call, 505-312-4999. So today's I-9 Varsity is the varsity of the best losers. And this could mean anything you want it to mean. This is in turn because of the 2-loss Alabama Crimson Tide football team are probably the best losers in football this year. They're 2 losses, both on the last play of the game, both on the road, both against really good competition. So do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I mean, I don't know if our lists are going to be different, but I'm sure they're going to be.
Okay.
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Daniel Caruso. Not
From the Karate Kid?
No, the boxer Daniel Caruso.
Okay.
Actual professional boxer. Are you ready for this?
Hit me.
He was so enthusiastic while warming up for the Golden Gloves Championships in 1992 that he punched himself in the face and broke his nose. Doctors decided that he was unfit to fight and was disqualified from the tournament.
Oh my. That is
How
very
do you
dumb.
take an L from getting yourself so hyped that you punch yourself in the face, you break your nose, the ring doctor has to come over before the fight, before you even walk out towards the ring and say, you know what? You can't go out there like this. You can't fight, dude. Sorry, you're disqualified.
That is horrible. That is horrible. Bob, you got one for us?
Well, not really.
Okay.
But I always like the long losing streaks.
Okay. I'll start off with one. Caitlin Dobro, 25 years old from Southern California, got a really bad case of meningitis, and she lost all of her limbs because of this bad case of meningitis. Now she's a quadruple amputee. And so that would mean, as far as limbs go, she is the best loser because you can't lose any more than that. So she's forever tied for first. So first on my I-9 varsity of best losers would be Caitlin Dobro.
Thanks.
Quadruple amputee.
Thanks for going so gruesome.
Was that the same answer you're going to give, Bob?
No.
No, it wasn't?
No.
I didn't steal your answer is what I'm saying.
Not at all.
Oh, good.
Wasn't even on my radar.
Vern, what you got next?
All right. Kevin Maggie.
Ooh, okay.
Professional motorcyclist. Okay.
Oh, I thought you were going to say motorboater.
No, motorcyclist.
Okay.
Maggie was on a clear lead in the final lap of the 500cc U.S. Motorcycle Championship in 1989.
Okay.
When he waved to the competitors just before crossing the finish line.
Oh, I love this.
He fell off his bike, broke his leg, was taken to the hospital, all while he never crossed the finish line, and he lost.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
I love it when an athlete starts celebrating before they've actually won, like running, a track meet or football, the touchdown.
Leon Lett.
Yeah.
Don
almost
Beebe
makes it.
chasing him down.
Yep.
Yeah. Just, and then wham. Just, those are great.
I mean, but not just taking the L, but you fall off your bike.
That's hard.
Break your leg, and you're taken to the hospital because you're waving, showboating when you just needed to cross the finish line, then stop your bike, then wave.
I wonder if he learned a little humidity. Good Lord. I wonder if he learned a little humility, or he's just going to go full Dan Snyder over everybody and not learn his lesson.
Probably Dan Snyder not learned his lesson.
Yeah.
Next on my I-9 varsity of the best losers, I'm going to go with Masayoshi Son. You know Masayoshi Son, Bob?
Never heard of him.
No.
He's a Japanese businessman whose company, SoftBank, went up to a record $78 billion with inflation that was over $1 trillion. But due to the stock market not having belief in the company, he lost $59 billion in one day as the worth of the company plunged. So that's over $1 trillion in today's money.
Ooh.
So that's the best loser as far as money is concerned.
I don't know.
Because I don't think anybody can top that, losing $1 trillion in a day.
We've got a contender.
Sam Bakeman-Fried.
Yes.
Yeah, we covered him recently.
Well, yeah, but
that's not $1 trillion, though.
By the time it's all done, it might be because of all the companies that he owned and all the companies that invested in him, that they're going to lose money. And I read today that it also affects people who the taxes of people who invested.
Yeah, people do not like losing money.
Well, no, I'm talking about the taxes. It's going to be a nightmare for them to file because of is it a loss? Is it a fraud? IRS rules.
Next on my I-9 varsity, I go with John Brower Minnick. Have you heard of John Brower Minnick, Bob?
Who have I heard of?
Okay. At the age of 12, Minnick weighed 294 pounds.
Ouch.
By the age of 21, he weighed over 500 pounds. In his 6'1" frame, passed away at the age 36. But right before his age 36, he hit his peak weight of 1,400 pounds. He attempted weight loss, but his internal organs were so depleted by the weight, he could not.
How many calories
he could not continue
eating? He must have been eating 20,000 calories a day and not moving at all.
And the reason why he is the best loser, he lost 924 of those 1,400 pounds.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. So if it would have been on NBC's smash hit, The Biggest Loser, he would have won that year. But he still died at the young age of 36. No, excuse me, 41. He reached his peak weight at 36.
That's
1,400 pounds.
That's a lot.
How do you know? How do you notice when you've lost that much weight? 900, I understand. Well, you're 1,400 pounds.
Well, you go to a CAT scale, measures the
Sure.
trailers.
Yeah. He has to get weighed at like an on-ramp leaving town.
I would think so. I don't know.
You can lose 300 pounds and no one would notice. Like if I lose 10 pounds, like if you guys haven't noticed yet, I'm kind of skinny. If I lose 10 pounds, like that's scary. I probably have some kind of ailment. If he loses 300 pounds, no one notices.
Probably not.
Yeah, that's rough.
He probably has some friends and you're like, hey, I know the doctor told you got to lose a bunch of weight or you're not going to make it very long. It's like, what are you talking about? I lost 300 pounds. And he's like, right. Yeah, John. Looking great. Good job. Keep up the good work, brother.
That's right.
600 more to go.
Only 600?
Only 600 more to go.
That would have brought him down to, what, 800 pounds?
He fortunately only lived to be 41, but lost 924 pounds. That's creeping up on a ton.
Yes.
He almost lost an F-150's worth of weight.
That's a lot.
He almost.
So at one point,
trucks usually at least 2 tons. I think.
So at one point, he actually weighed more than some cars do.
Yes. At one point, he weighed a Geo Metro and a half.
A human being.
Yeah. He was 1 1/2 Geo Metros. I think he's probably 1 1/4 Toyota Priuses.
Could he even move?
No.
Oh, I doubt it.
There's no way.
So shout out to Alabama football, sent us off on that tangent for
Thank
the
you.
best losers.
Daniel Caruso, folks.
And Daniel Caruso.
Not Karate Kid.
Punched himself in the face. Pulled a Devin Williams of the Brewers.
But in the face and broke his own nose.
One
Yeah,
more.
how do you do that?
I don't.
Like this?
Okay.
You think you would like...
He maybe aiming for his forehead and missed.
I've been
wouldn't
punched, and it's not pleasant. But I couldn't imagine like punching myself full force and going through with it.
I wouldn't punch myself in the face, like in the head, to get hype for a fight. There's I can't fathom that.
Little cheek ones, wake up in the morning, slap your face like that. You ever do one of those?
But that's a slap. I mean,
Yeah.
a full-on punch to where you
Full-on
break your
punch.
nose? How?
Well, he was a professional boxer.
I'm sure it ended after that.
Self-boxer. He took his one-man show on the road. One more segment with Vernon Coots. You know him as Vern K from Chop It Up with Vern K every Saturday morning, 9 to 11, right here on the Sports Animal. More 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance, where you only pay for what you need. Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
Well, we are still dealing with 2 accidents. The first is westbound 40 at San Pedro. Emergency vehicles are pulled into the left lane and the shoulder. So slowdowns are starting around Juan Tabo. An accident on northbound New Mexico 528 in front of Intel is causing taillights starting around Westside Boulevard. Westbound Cesar Chavez has delays from I-25 to Isleta Boulevard. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Visit any of their stores today or shop online at AmericanHome.com. I'm Stephanie Griffin from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is Maggie Gray with a CBS Sports Minute. Week 14 of the NFL season starts tonight with the Raiders and Rams. And if Las Vegas can't win this game, they are officially hopeless. Think about who they're facing. Baker Mayfield may be suiting up for the Rams, despite the fact that he was claimed off waivers by the team 48 hours ago. I'm sure Mayfield is chomping at the bit to get back on the field, but this has disaster written all over it. This should be easy pickings for the Raiders. I'm Maggie Gray.
The Opening Drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Biggest loser of the weekend, Chargers. You still have superstar young gun quarterback in Herbert. I don't understand how they keep losing games like this. Number 2 to me, the Titans. But because of the way they lost to the Eagles and got pumped 35-10, and they are now 1-5 against teams with a winning record. Number 2 loser. Number 3 is Miami. Going across the country. This was a test. Are they for real? Can they travel?
Weekday mornings from 7 till 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code IMPACT at checkout. That's harrys.com, code IMPACT. Enjoy.
It's the most together time of the year. The family gathers, friends reunite, and you don't want to miss a second of it. So to stay healthy this holiday season, it's time to get the Omicron booster, designed specifically to boost protection against today's most common COVID variants. It's safe, effective, and available at no cost to you. So schedule your Omicron booster at itstimnm.org. or call 855-600-3453.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply. Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text POWER to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text POWER to 321-321. That's POWER to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
When your business information is missing or inconsistent across the internet, search engines won't find you, and customers won't either. Help ensure customers see you and not your competitors. Boost your findability. CumulusBoost.com. CUMULUS Boost.com.
Tune in to Chop It Up with Vern K, where he chops it up about professional and local sports with all the hot takes. Chop It Up with Vern K. Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 on the Sports Animal.
The Duke City's home for sports. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
He was such a good boy today. You didn't hear him bark. You didn't hear him whine. You didn't hear anything about my cute little corgi, Darby. His full name is Lord Darby the Flatulent. Darby's been in here in studio with us the whole 2 hours today.
He has.
Hasn't said peep, got some scratchums, took a nap. Now he's getting a little antsy. Now he's like looking out the door. He's like, hey, I could tell by the energy in here. It's almost ready to go.
Wrap it up, Dad.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta go.
I think literally he has to go. Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's just ready to be done with it. He's tired of listening to our show.
He hasn't been in a room this small for 2 hours his entire life. I don't think. Maybe when he was born or whatever.
That's hard to believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What are you saying about my house, Bob?
Well, I've never been in your house.
What a program today. Vern K. Chop It Up with Vern K. every Saturday morning, 9-12. We just heard the commercial just now.
That was weird.
Is that weird?
That was weird.
Had you never heard it before?
No, I've heard it before.
Okay.
Every time I hear it, it's weird to me.
Hell of a program today. And you have a hell of a program every Saturday.
I do.
Leans a little sportier than this program.
Just a tad.
But the friends of the show know what they're getting into.
They do.
With both of our shows respectively.
They do. They know what they're getting into on this show, and then they know what I'm going to preview and what I'm going to talk about on Saturday mornings. So
I don't know if the Padres know what they're getting into, because the Padres have a friggin' shortstop at every position on the field. They're collecting shortstops like Thanos is collecting Infinity Stones.
I don't get that one. And I'm a baseball guy. I don't get that one. And I don't know if you're including the one that's coming back. That's suspended for the first 60, 70 games.
Yes.
That's another one.
Third baseman, Manny Machado. He's a shortstop. New signing, Xander Bogaerts, shortstop. Second baseman, Ha-Sung Kim, shortstop. Potential center fielder, Fernando Tatis, shortstop. Like, what else? Hey, Jake Cronenworth
I was just gonna say
has
it.
played shortstop.
Yep.
Yeah, more of a corner infielder, but he's played shortstop.
And they went big. They gave him a lot of money, man. So, what was it? It was $280 million?
275, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 280. And the shortstop market, there's still a couple free agents out there.
What we thought was going to be number one, Carlos Correa, still out there.
He could be, because Trey Turner just got $300 million to go to the Phils.
Did you see how he turned down the Padres too?
I didn't see that.
No,
dude.
Okay, so Trey Turner, 11 years, $300 million to go play for the Phillies.
Yep,
they're good. They're going to be contenders.
They are
every year for a long time. great landing spot, a lot of money, can't complain. He turned down 1 year less and $42 million more from the Padres, not to play for the Padres. He took $42 million less to play for the Phillies.
So that tells you, or tells me, this is just my thought process, being a Dodger for those, 2 seasons, year and a half, that he couldn't see himself in a Padres uniform.
I believe you're right.
They don't get along, like, at all. He did not want to be a part of that clubhouse. Who else is going to turn down $42 million difference?
Yeah.
I don't care how much
To
money
play for a contender.
Exactly.
Padres are going to be in it every year.
Yeah.
Is it something about their culture? Is it something about the locker room that we're like, I will take less money to play somewhere else?
Colder, Philly,
yeah.
come October.
It's San Diego.
Yeah.
It's perfect all the time.
Yes. That's why I'm saying there has to be something that he didn't like about that culture and about that locker room that he was just not going to deal with.
And it's not just Trey Turner. Aaron Judge got offered 10 years, $400 million from the Padres, and he didn't want to be in San Diego either.
Nope. Said no, no, sir.
40,
Something's going on.
$40 million not to be in one of the most beautiful cities on the planet.
And a new stadium, new ballpark, newer stadium. I mean, they have a good fan base.
And you're the only show in town in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
No football, no basketball, no hockey.
Yeah.
Nothing to take away from your attention. You're the big dog in town.
I don't even know if San Diego State would qualify as like a show in town, you know? Well, they're good in football.
By default, they would. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're good in football, so I'll give you that, and in basketball, but wow, that's a lot of money to turn down.
I mean, for Aaron Judge, I get it. Like, I get it.
He wanted to stay in New York.
You want to be a Yankee for life. You want that pinstripe legacy. All good. Whatever.
I'll say this. I don't know if you saw this, but between, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players, MLB free agency, over $1.5 billion has been spent on free agency between 8 players in the last week.
And one thing that's amazing. That's like a lot of guaranteed income for athletes for a long time.
That's a lot of money because that's baseball. It's all guaranteed.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge, $360 million. Trey Turner, $300 million. Xander, $280. Jacob deGrom, $185 million. Wilson Contreras to go to the Cardinals, $87.5 million. Justin Verlander, old man Justin Verlander to go to the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
2-year deal, $86.7 million.
To tie the per season record of Max Scherzer.
2-year deal.
They're both making $43.3333333333333 million a year.
That's insane. And then Tawan Walker, $72 million, and then Jameson Taillon, $68 million. That's over $1.5 billion in 8 players. And we still have Correa out there.
Still got Correa out there. Still got some other heavy hitters out
You
there.
do.
Still got some overseas guys
Mm-hmm.
out there. So the Dodgers were thinking about signing Carlos Correa, but they were worried about their fan base.
So
he'd be a perfect fit in LA.
Yeah,
but just the taste still in your mouth.
Yeah.
From the 17 cheating scandal.
It's not only that, it's the fan base said we would not favor that, but I don't think he would be that he would not be received in the locker room.
Give him 10 years and $300 million. He'll play anywhere.
Yeah, but
he'll
the
play
players going to that locker room,
yeah,
he would not be received well.
Sure.
He burned that bridge the way he left LA, the stuff he mentioned about, LA, but I don't know. That there's no way they would have accepted him in that clubhouse.
I think they would have accepted him in the clubhouse because you want to win. You got a player that can help you win. They're going to try to win. Like the fan base, no. You can't boo a guy on your own team and then support everyone else.
That would have happened.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Do you have any example except for Marcell Ozuna on the Braves last
I'm
year?
I'm just saying you can do it.
Oh, yeah.
Not possible.
Anything's possible. I love your glass half full attitude, Bob. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Speaking of thank you, hell of a job today, Bob. Thanks for helping out with the sound levels earlier. And you're just a consummate professional and you kill it every time you're on the program. So thank you.
Your words are too kind.
I know they are, but take them anyways. It's holiday season.
I will always take them. Yes.
Vern K, so stoked to have you on. So stoked you got your own program. No one deserves it more than you. Check out Chop It Up with Vern K every Saturday morning, 9 to 11. What are you going to hit on this Saturday? You know yet?
Not yet, but we're gonna bring some fun energy Saturday.
Love that.
Oh yeah.
Love that. Also, we love our sponsors, John Lopez Real Estate, New Mexico Pinon Coffee, I-9 Sports, YMCA. You're going to see a lot of me at YMCA soon. 66 Diner, Howie's Sports Page, Teller Vodka. As always, they are New Mexico's vodka. Great program today. Going to be a great program tomorrow, not only on 2 Men On, but first thing in the morning, make sure you're checking out the opening drive with Jeff, JJ, and A. Marie. Hell of a program. Thanks to all the friends of the show for the calls and the text. We love your support and we love your participation. You be safe out there, Burke. We'll see you tomorrow.
Spending money, not a hoe.
You're clear.
The Albuquerque Journal and Venue Plus for local insight and answers about pets or puzzles, sports or shopping, comics or movies, events, dining, music, television, and more. Get all your entertainment and recreational questions answered. Subscribe at abqjournal.com.
Well, we have an accident eastbound Paseo right around Rio Grande. This is just causing some minor delays. Accident westbound 40 at San Pedro has been cleared, but you are at a gridlock starting around Juan Tabo. Westbound Paseo is bumper to bumper from I-25 to the river.
We're all moving a little faster now.
Trust the team that's going to keep up with you on KOAT Action 7 News.
We're proud to bring you coverage you can count on from across.
If you're in a contract at 767-9167. Brought to you by Furniture and Mattress. Visit any of their stores today or shop online at AmericanHome.com. I'm Stephanie